Alright guys, it's been a little while since I did an update here, so we'll go around to the garden and whatnot, but today I counted the actual full-size, or mostly full-size peppers on here, and there are about 87, and then we've got more coming in on the top and everywhere else, so just a crazy productive plant, and it's only about I don't know, 1.5 feet tall, so just nuts. And the habanada that was almost dead, like it was just abused by the weather, finally has started putting on peppers here and producing. So focus. Oh. Yep, a bunch of little guys. And I counted all the buds and flowers on here, and there are well over 100. And this plant is even shorter. It's not even 1 foot tall. So, I mean, as you can see by my hand size, it's just crazy how small it is. But then we've got the, let's see, we've got the snacking pepper here, which we've got a few good sized ones on there, and lots coming. So my bird's eye chili has really bushed out since I topped it and got it in the first place. Tons of tops on it where it's just going to put out, an abundance of buds. And the habaneros that I started from seed are really big. This one survived the rainstorm one day, but this one got the top broken off of it, and as you can see, it's just bushing out like crazy. So all the buds that were on the top got broken off, but it'll bounce back here and give us a bunch. These black vernissage, they're doing really well. So these black vernissage here there's just 2 clusters, and there's a 3rd one, 4th one, 5th one, and as you can see, it's at the top, so I will probably let this one develop and then just top it off, and that'll be it. This Melrose is kind of being swallowed by the nasturtium here, but then we got the Reaper, which is also just being covered by these, and that one's got a lot of buds in each of these tops. The purple color is, I don't know if it'll come through on the camera, but it's just beautiful. So, and harvested some of these banana peppers. And it's not a very big plant. It's not going to produce a ton, but there's quite a few on there. Really been fertilizing my corn, obviously more so on that side. So this stuff's kind of small, this stuff's really big, so hopefully I get at least enough to make some cornbread. This is all flour corn, so a mix, so I won't be saving any seed. But so finally my zucchini and different squash, patty pan, cucumbers aren't doing so great right here, but we've got this squash here that is really vining out. Got some flowers getting ready to open, so that's good. And of course, when I want to make a video, it has to be windy. That's mandatory. So we got these lovely indigo cherries here, and this other plant is loaded with them as well. And this crazy cluster on here is really, oh my goodness, there's all these that still have to form, and there are already 7 on there, and we got more going up the plant, but that's going to be a productive one. So here's the black prince, big old cluster of 7 on one, and then we got another one there, and this one's actually putting on some. So I've actually been getting some ripe ones, just a few so far from this yellow pear, and this one's got a lot going up the plant here. I'm gonna have to chop her down. So we've got this dark tiger here, very pretty. There's a couple on there, a couple more forming there. If you follow me on Instagram, I post a lot of close-ups of stuff in here. I believe it's, I'll put it in the description. It's the plant hunter with an underscore in there. I'll just look down below. So the beans are filling out here, just super healthy, super huge, all flowering. Got some young rows in between that are coming up, and these purple ones look really nice. Flowers. So, same with my dry beans right here. They're all doing super great. Not all of them in this row, but. So finally getting some sunflowers that are, you know, they're about, this one's about 3 feet tall, so the ones that survived. So, and I'm having a hard time remembering when I updated last, but I cleared out a couple rows of radishes and turnips, and those were really tasty. So I reseeded the turnips in both of these rows, another row of radishes that are ready. So those are still coming in. It's weird to see blank spots in the garden. I started some red and green lettuce here. You can hardly see it. See how that'll do when it's hot. Probably not very well, but it's worth a shot. I don't know what these are called, but they're all starting to open up here. So, and they're very deceiving from when they're young plants, because they don't look like they're going to be, you know, much of anything cool. But and this bed is looking great. Yep. Real professional photography here. Got these nice looking ones here, called Wagner's Blue Green. And then down further, got the Lucid Gem. So those are looking real nice. So it's funny how I got this 6-pack of these orange bell peppers here, and they haven't changed hardly at all, and they look really sickly. And you know, I've been giving them everything I give my other plants that are looking good, and so, but they're still putting on peppers. On the other one I can see they're just starting out, but they're actually putting on peppers. So it's gonna be crammed with, like, I don't know how many are on here, 6 or 8 buds on there, so it should work out. Getting some of these Hungarian wax peppers starting. So when I planted a bunch of rows of these white icicle radishes, supposed to get 5 inches long, and I put in 3 rows over here in between this corn, so those should be tasty. Then I put my black tomatoes over here, my other ground cherries that I hope grow up and not out over here. Forgot to stake that guy up there. This is the triple crop climbing tomato. So we got the ground cherries here, and they are ground cherries. They're just sitting in the dirt. So had a couple ripe ones, you know, taste just fine. It's just it stinks that they're not going up. Now I could get stakes and tie those ones up so they kind of go in the air, but should get something out of them. There's a lot of ground cherries on there. So I picked one of these lemon drops for a vegetable stir fry with rice, and then I picked a second one just to eat, to try the flavor, and I picked one that was real dark like that, and the flavor is wonderful. It's like a floral citrus kind of burst, and then the heat kicks in, and they're pretty darn hot. Made me kind of cough, surprised me a little bit. So in this ancho pepper here has really taken off. I got it when it was 6 inches tall, and I just cut it back right away, and now it's got multiple heads on this branch here, and then a ton on this branch. So that should be a crazy productive plant there. Never grown those before. So I've got this little tiny jalapeno here, and it's about 1.5 feet tall, but it's loaded. Tons of peppers all around. So I always have bad luck with jalapenos, it seems. Just plants get stunted and then they stay small. They usually produce a lot for their size, but they stay small. I just can't believe this cluster. It's crazy. Just because they're all grouped together. But I hope that this clump of the Cherokee purples survives, because it's going to get really heavy. Then again, it's kind of resting on the cage here, and this branch is extremely beefy, so already a crazy producer with just what's on it. And this indigo cherry here, it branches off from here, and I had to tie it up right here so that it'll just go out and keep producing here. So I'll just train it out. And these clusters are so big, 8 on one, and there's like a triple cluster on this branch, 1, 2, 3. It's just nuts. The guy wasn't lying that I bought them from when he said they're crazy productive. Like cluster here, cluster here, cluster here, there. So definitely gonna find those next year. Some of my marigolds are getting so bushy, like this one. It's like 2 hand widths and a ton of flowers on there, and there's another dozen to open up. Just crazy for coming from one single little plant. And my blue Hokkaido squash in the corn here is getting really bushy, and it's going in the right direction, climbing down the row into the garden. So I'm gonna have to cut it off at some point. Don't want everything to get all messy and whatnot.